Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, a powerful winter storm on the move. President Trump's new threat for Minneapolis, the hype over heated rivalry, and the hot ticket, how to book free flights. Big freeze. The cold sweeps all the way down to the Sunshine State as the Northeast braces for a powerful new storm. On the heels of the snow already causing chaos on the roads.
We've got cars everywhere.
Massive pileups on the highways. In New York, an American Airlines plane veers off the runway. Ginger tracking it all. From the major winter windstorm striking the plains to where you could see a whiteout this weekend.
New clashes overnight amid ongoing ice raids. A cloud of white gas forcing protesters to flee outside a federal building in Minneapolis. Now President Trump's new threat.
The president and the Peace Prize. What happened when the Nobel Peace Prize winner and Venezuela's opposition leader visited the White House?
Pay to play poorly. The betting scandal rocking college basketball. Dozens of players indicted in an alleged point-shaving scheme that prosecutors say fixed games so gamblers could make millions.
New details about Nick Reiner, accused of killing his parents. Director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. What we're learning about Nick's mental health struggles and what it could mean for his defense.
A-plus sleuths, the college students who may have cracked a more than 30-year-old cold case. How they help police find a murder suspect.
Holiday weekend travel deals during the first big sales event of the new year, and the airline offering to fly you to your next cruise for free.
You're as cold as ice. And the hottest show right now, turning up the heat on the ice and turning its leads into overnight stars.
Do you think everyone in the audience has seen Heated Rivalry? That's a maybe. But their trainers have, and their moms have, and their daughters have.
We spoke to the author behind the hype. And are you ready for some snowy football? We're gearing up to bundle up for one of the biggest football weekends of the year.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
And we hope your Friday's off to a good start. Good morning, America. Big weekend for Michael, big football weekend.
Oh, yeah. Cannot wait. It's going to be an exciting weekend.
It is going to be so exciting, guys, because we have a lot to get to this morning. You've got the Friday morning excitement for that Miami College National Football Championship game. Lara's going to be here to break down one of the most incredible comeback stories in sports history.
Yep, but we're going to begin with the powerful snowstorm on the move, causing chaos on the roads with major pileups on highways. Of course, Ginger's tracking the big freeze and the back-to-back Arctic blast that are sweeping from the Great Lakes to the Northeast. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning. Tallahassee, Florida this morning is 2 degrees colder than we are.
No.
That is how deep south this cold goes. So yes, we are 22, they're 20 degrees. The wind chills are even colder, but it's that air going over the Great Lakes that made major problems on the roads.
This morning, up to 1.5 feet of fresh snow making a wreck of the roads around the Great Lakes. In Rochester, New York, an American Airlines plane veering off the runway.
We were able to make that left turn wide enough, and we're currently on the edge of the taxi.
90 passengers were on board, no injuries reported. On the roads, pileups in several states.
No way! No!
This massive multi-vehicle crash in Lafayette, New York, blocking traffic on I-81 South for hours.
20 and 40 vehicles involved. Southbound and northbound lanes are both shut down at this time.
Mangled cars and trucks all over the road. These aerial images showing the size and scope of the pileup. 7 people rushed to the hospital, several with broken bones. And in Pennsylvania, at least 1 person dying when 2 semi-trucks crashed on I-79. On I-90, a violent chain reaction, EMS crews responding to multiple reports of injuries. And in South Bend, Indiana, police responding to more than 60 car crashes in a 24-hour period. Body camera footage shows officers racing to help, pushing and digging to get vehicles out of the snow.
Now, all of that was from a system that has since left the chat, but we've got a new one coming in, and it's already producing snow from Milwaukee to Chicago area this morning up to Green Bay. Winter weather advisories are up in parts of Minnesota, Iowa, and the eastern Dakotas. The high wind advisories, or the warnings there, go from Billings down to Lubbock. Those are for 60 to 80 mile per hour winds that could easily take down power lines, trees, just by itself. That's the backside of the wind on this system. What's going to happen is we're going to track this thing through Saturday, where it becomes kind of peacy in the morning throughout the Northeast. You could see some dusting on the roadway, but in the afternoon, it gets enough moisture, a little bit of oomph from New Jersey up through New York. Saturday afternoon, we're talking about snow in Hartford, Connecticut, up into the Berkshires for sure. What does it leave behind? The most is going to be closer to the lakes, away from the coast, 3 to 6 inches in some of those places. Also, the cold. It is not stopping, George. Arctic invasion comes back again next week.
And it is everywhere. Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. We're going to get the latest now on the clashes in Minneapolis between protesters and ICE agents. President Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act, an 1807 law that would allow him to send in the U.S. military. Matt Rivers is on the scene in Minneapolis. Good morning, Matt.
Well, good morning, George. Another day of skirmishes between protesters and federal authorities as the entire city of Minneapolis braces for what could be a tough next few days as protests ramp up through the weekend.
Overnight, tensions escalating as federal immigration agents clash with protesters amid ongoing ICE raids.
I can't breathe.
A cloud of white gas forcing protesters to flee outside a federal building in Minneapolis.
Stay off federal property or you will be arrested.
Amidst the violence, President Trump now threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act, which would give the president the power to deploy U.S. military forces in Minnesota. Generally, the use of federal troops on U.S. soil is prohibited, but the president can invoke the 218-year-old law if requested by governors or if he determines that there is an insurrection. President Lyndon Johnson invoked the Insurrection Act in 1965 to protect civil rights marchers in Selma, Alabama, after the governor refused to protect them. The threat following another violent incident and protests Wednesday night. An ICE agent shooting and wounding Venezuelan national Julio Cesar Sosa Celis, who federal authorities say tried to flee to a nearby home during what officials called a traffic stop. DHS officials allege 2 other people came out of a nearby apartment and attacked the officer with a shovel and a broomstick. That's when officials say the officer fired, quote, a defensive shot to defend his life. DHS officials have not presented evidence to support this, and ABC has not been able to independently verify. The 3 men now in custody. Federal agents deploying tear gas at that scene. The Jackson family caught in the crossfire while driving home from their son's basketball game, causing 3 of their 6 kids to be transported to the hospital.
The ICE agents came forward and they were lined up with their mace.
The family says gas grenades set off the airbags, trapping them inside as gas filled the van. Bystanders helped open the doors. That's when they realized that the infant had stopped breathing.
Having to give my baby mouth to mouth and people pouring milk all over my other kids. I thought I was dying, honestly. And the way I felt, I could imagine how my kids felt because I'm a full-blown grown adult, so I just knew that it was even worse for them.
Now, President Trump has threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act several times already this year, but whether he follows through on that threat here in Minneapolis remains to be seen. George?
A big step. Okay, Matt, thanks very much. Now to President Trump's meeting with the leader of the Venezuelan opposition, who presented him with the Nobel Peace Prize she was awarded last year over the objections of the Nobel Prize Committee. Elizabeth Schultz is at the White House with the story. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, George. This is a highly unusual move. Venezuela's opposition leader gifting her Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump in hopes of winning his approval, even though the committee that awards the prizes says it can't be transferred.
For months, President Trump has made clear he thinks he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
I can't think of anybody in history that should get the Nobel Prize more than me.
On Thursday, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado gifting him hers.
I presented the President of the United States the medal of the Nobel Peace Prize.
The president writing on social media, Machado gave him the prize for the work I have done and calling it such a wonderful gesture of mutual respect. The White House posting this photo of the 2 leaders side by side in the Oval Office. The president holding the framed Nobel Peace Prize, which says, To President Donald J. Trump, in gratitude for your extraordinary leadership in promoting peace through strength, advancing diplomacy, and defending liberty and prosperity. But the Nobel Peace Center says the prize can't be shared, posting just hours before the pair met. Once a Nobel Prize is announced, it cannot be revoked, shared, or transferred to others. The decision is final and stands for all time. The exiled Venezuelan opposition leader hoping to win over the president, traveling to Washington less than 2 weeks after the U.S. captured and removed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Trump has so far refused to back Machado as the country's next leader, even though her party won 80% of the vote in the last election.
I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country.
Machado saying in a statement she told Trump the country is ready to transition to democracy. But the White House has said that while Trump wants to see Venezuela hold elections one day, he doesn't believe the country is ready yet. The White House saying the president stands by that statement even after meeting Machado.
The White House says Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, has been extremely cooperative. And this morning we are learning that the CIA director traveled to Caracas to meet with Rodriguez to discuss potential economic opportunities. George?
And Elizabeth, the president's attempt to acquire Greenland is drawing some fierce opposition.
Right, Greenland's leaders are making an impassioned plea that the country is not for sale, as Denmark is now increasing its military presence on the island and conducting drills with France. French President Macron now says he's prepared to send in more troops as a way to deter any U.S. military action. But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt now says she doesn't think that will impact the president's decision-making process or his goal of acquiring Greenland. This weekend, a bipartisan group of senators is traveling to Denmark to share the message that they say is overwhelmingly shared by many Americans: leave Greenland alone. George?
And overwhelming opposition in Greenland, as you point out. Elizabeth, thanks very much. Michael?
I'm going to see if this year's Super Bowl winner give me a ring. Let's see how that goes. All right, the president also unveiling a new health care plan that he has long promised but not providing a lot of details yet. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, has the story.
This morning, facing pressure to tackle the rising cost of living, President Trump unveiling what he's calling his great health care plan.
The government is going to pay the money directly to you. It goes to you, and then you take the money and buy your own health care.
But it's not clear how that would work. Details of the plan are sparse. It's just a few paragraphs on the White House website. Trump has been promising a health care plan for a decade. In the last campaign, he said this:
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
But his new plan still short on specifics. Top officials calling it broad and a framework. And health policy experts tell us this leaves more questions than answers. The plan includes few details on how much money Americans would get and whether it would cover their health care costs. The White House suggesting it's up to Congress to work out the details.
Congress and the White House are going to work together to put this plan into action.
Trump is also promising his plan will lower drug prices, asking Congress to make into law deals he's already made with pharmaceutical companies to bring down costs. And he wants insurance companies to be more transparent about their rates. His announcement comes as healthcare costs for more than 20 million Americans have skyrocketed in recent weeks after Republicans failed to extend expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. Already 1.4 million fewer people signing up this year. Astrid Story, a mom and small business owner in Denver, Colorado, is currently battling thyroid cancer. Her monthly premiums have soared from $1,400 to $1,900.
How is that fair? How is that fair to a cancer patient that their first thought has to be, am I going to be able to afford the treatment that is going to keep me alive?
Now, the president's plan doesn't do anything to renew those subsidies, the White House rejecting efforts on the Hill to extend them, even after the House recently passed a 3-year extension. Now, I've repeatedly pressed the White House on whether the president's plan will be enough to cover the same health care costs. They say only that it will bring down costs. Meanwhile, Democrats are dismissing the president's plan, saying it's more empty promises from Trump, guys.
And many, many millions of Americans are left hanging in the balance. All right, Mary, thank you. We're going to turn now to the big weekend in college football. The college football playoff championship game is on Monday, but we're going to start with that divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Sam, you got a preview for us.
I don't
Take it
think
away.
there's time for anything but football this weekend. I really don't even know if you have time to breathe, eat, or sleep. But here we go. I think the best way to take this apart is day by day. Saturday afternoon, Bills quarterback Josh Allen hoping to make his long-awaited first trip to the Super Bowl, but first he has to get past that Broncos and that defense that have put him where they are. Saturday night, 49ers look for revenge against the top-seeded Seahawks, who beat San Francisco in the final game of the season. Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold says he will be ready to face the 49ers tomorrow, and there's close to zero chance, he says, that he'll miss the game. Now, this is all because he suffered an oblique injury. It was reported yesterday. He says they're treating it aggressively, so he'll be there. That's what he's saying. All right, on to Sunday, right here on ABC and ESPN. The Texans bring their top-rated defense to New England to try to stop the Patriots and their MVP candidate quarterback, Drake May. Playing in Massachusetts, this game, there is definitely going to be cold air around and a chance to see some snow just like we have in New York City. Another MVP candidate, Matthew Stafford, taking his Rams to Chicago Sunday night. The Bears, and by the way, I had a drive-by in my office this morning from a Bears fan who said nothing stops the Bears fans. I just want to say, thrilling comeback win over rival Green Bay in the wild card round last weekend is expected to be about 19 to 20 degrees at kickoff there. Wind chills in the single digits. That may carry some light snow as well. All right, let's go back to the Texans-Patriots game. You can watch it right here on ABC and ESPN Sunday afternoon at 2:45 Eastern. And if you're here on the couch with us, you don't have to worry about the wind chills, the cold, or the snow.
That's true. You are getting so fluent in football.
I'm so proud of him. Our Sammy.
It's all written right there.
But you sell it so well, baby.
Yeah, if you want a job on the weekends, I can hook you up. All right. Now to the national championship game. Indiana versus Miami. Larry, you have that for us.
Yes, let's talk college football now. It has been one of the most incredible comeback stories in sports history. As recently as 2 years ago, the Hoosier football program was considered one of the worst in the country. But then they brought in head coach Kurt Cignetti from James Madison. Not exactly a sure thing, but don't tell that to Cignetti, who never doubted his own ability to turn the program around from day one. As he said, Google him. And there's no need to do that now. No need to do that now. Everyone knows who Cignetti is and what he has done for this Indiana team, ranked #1 in the country, undefeated, producing Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza, and now going for the national title. It all sounds like a fairy tale, but not so fast. Miami not about to roll over this Monday night with a nasty defense that has allowed just 14 points a game this season. The Hurricanes were seeded 10th in the 12-team college football playoffs, so they have had to fight to get to this moment. And guys, they get to do it on their home field to boot. Robin and I will both be on the field for the national championship game with all of your coverage, along with ESPN, for what is shaping up to be an amazing night of football. It all starts Monday night, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. And coming up in our next hour, Victor Akendo is live in Miami with all of the excitement. There he is at the stadium for the big game. Looking forward to that, guys.
And he's wearing a jacket, maybe a little colder than we're used to in Miami.
It is.
Yes. All right, coming up, it's the first holiday weekend of the year. And Sam has some of the hottest travel deals out there, including how to book 100% free flight.
100% free, Michael. That's even making free better. All right, so if you book a cruise, you can get a free flight. We're going to tell you all this next.
Okay, also had Aaron Petrushki is tracking the betting scandal rocking college basketball. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, George, big bribes, lucrative bets, players tanking on purpose. We'll tell you why the feds say the fix was in.
And the latest on the Nick Reiner case, what we're learning about his mental health challenges as he faces murder charges in the deaths of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner.
A lot more coming up. We'll be right back.
We welcome you back to GMA with one of the most iconic movie scenes right there. And now one of the most iconic landmarks in Philadelphia is moving. The Rocky statue at the base of the Art Museum steps is going to be moved to the top of the steps where it should be. But before that move, the statue will go inside the museum for a special exhibit and then in August it'll finally be placed in its new spot. We went there last year, and they had it. We were like, why isn't it at the top of the
Yeah, you got to do the Rocky to see the Rocky.
Yeah, exactly.
First new at 7:30, residents in Kyiv and the surrounding regions are struggling to stay warm after Russian drone and missile attacks knocked out power and heat, with temperatures in the single digits. Tens of thousands of people have no heat, outages lasting for days. People are improvising, like these dentists working by flashlight. You see it right there. Also, Russia's been targeting Ukraine's infrastructure and power grid for months. The FDA is warning about a popular dietary supplement recall due to salmonella poisoning, left 45 people sick, 12 hospitalized. The recall involves Live It Up Super Greens powder in original and wild berry flavors, with expiration dates from August 2026 to January 2028.
And some big housing news. Mortgage rates are dropping. They have fallen now to their lowest level in more than 3 years. Because of those declining rates, there's been a big jump in applications and refinancing. They're now the average 30-year fix this morning. I looked it up. You can get it for about 6%. That is substantially higher than it was when it was 3%, but much better than it was about a year ago.
Yeah, we take whatever we can get at this point.
Will.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. Now to the latest on the Nick Reiner case as he faces murder charges and the deaths of his parents. We're learning new details about the severity of his battle with mental illness. Trevor Alton in Los Angeles with the details for us. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. And since Nick Reiner was charged with his parents' murders, there have been many questions about his mental health. Well, there is now news that he was placed in a temporary conservatorship just a few years ago, and that could be key if he potentially goes to trial.
This morning, new details shedding light on the mental health challenges accused killer Nick Reiner faced in the years leading up to the deaths of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. The New York Times reports in 2020, Reiner was placed in a year-long mental health conservatorship, meaning a judge determined he had a grave disability, unable to provide for his basic personal needs because of a mental health disorder, allowing him to be involuntarily held for psychiatric treatment. Legal experts say that conservatorship was not renewed in 2021. It could, however, be central to Reiner's defense if he pleads not guilty by reason of insanity.
In order to win and not be determined guilty of murder, he has to show that he suffers from a severe mental illness, and at the time of the act, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know wrong from right.
And Nick Reiner's now former attorney Alan Jackson withdrew from the case last week, but afterwards he said Reiner is not guilty. Nick Reiner's arraignment's now set for next month. George.
Trevor Ault, thanks. Now to a new sports betting scandal. Dozens of basketball players charged with rigging college games. Chief Investigative Correspondent Eric Tusk is here with the details. Good morning, Aaron.
Hey, good morning, George. So if you've watched a lot of college hoops in the last few years, chances are you've seen a game that may have been rigged. An alleged point-shaving scheme shows how rampant authorities say the culture of cheating has become in big-time college basketball.
Watch number 24 in the green jersey. Kevin Cross averaged 12 points a game for Tulane, but on this night against East Carolina, he could barely hold on to the ball. A new indictment says Cross agreed to underperform in exchange for a $30,000 bribe. He's one of more than 36 players from 17 Division I teams that federal prosecutors accuse in a point-shaving scheme. They say fixed games so gamblers could make millions in fraudulent bets.
This is a prosecution of the criminal corruption of collegiate athletics. And when criminals rig the outcome of games for the purpose to lose, rather than to win, we all lose.
Now Hunter will get the Cowboy defender airborne and miss the shot.
In this game, the indictment says University of New Orleans guard Sedquavius Hunter agreed to underperform against McNeese State in exchange for thousands of dollars in bribe payments.
Pass Hunter once again. This time he hits the three-pointer.
In an interview with our Will Reeve, Hunter admitted to point shaving.
I make a couple and miss a couple. I was money hungry. That's how it was, money hungry.
Other indictments have recently taken aim at illicit gambling tied to the NBA and Major League Baseball. The NCAA says it's time to get rid of prop bets, those small side wagers on player performance that have become wildly popular. But guys, there's a lot of money on the table.
A lot of money. And the idea that if you've seen a game, the chances are that game is rigged, like you said, is mind-blowing. All right, Aaron, thanks for that report. We're going to turn now to the first holiday weekend of 2026 and the sales to scoop up. And Sam, you have the details on all the best travel sales, because that's what we're thinking about in this cold weather.
I think so, getting out now, but this is for deals even all the way into summer and September. So now's a great time to book and find those travel deals. Booking.com is offering at least 15% off of rooms if you stay between now and April 1st. Now, Walt Disney World has some great offers for 2026. From this summer, from May 26th all the way through September 15th, you can book 4 nights or longer at a Disney Resort hotel with park passes and get up to 2 free room nights and 2 free theme park tickets. And if you check in, like if you make your reservation for check-in dates, May 26th all the way to September 8th, you can either visit Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach water parks for free the day you check into your resort hotel. So make your check-in early. Think about this. If you plan it in advance, it works out really well.
The kids want to go right away.
Right, they want to go right away. And if they don't let you check in, just leave your bags, do your check-in early, and head to the water parks because you're getting them for free. And when it comes to flights, here's what everyone's buzzing about. JetBlue has a deal. They're offering 100% off your flights with a Royal Caribbean cruise package. That means buy a cruise, get your flights for free. I'm going to say it again because it's only until midnight. You can book on JetBlue and they will fly you to your Royal Caribbean cruise for free.
Midnight tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to do the booking now. Got to get to it.
Make your plans.
Yeah,
free.
And unlike that graphic where the plane was above the cruise ship, you don't have to jump from the plane to the cruise ship.
That's how it was free, Sam.
That's why it was free.
All right, thank you.
And now to the hype over Heated Rivalry, a show about a complicated romance between 2 professional hockey players. Our team spoke with the author behind the series, one of the stars. Chris Connolly has the details. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, George. From last Sunday's Golden Globes to social media right this moment, the HBO Max series Heated Rivalry continues to turn up the temperature and spark enthusiastic conversations. Viewers captivated by its candid portrayal of male hockey stars experiencing the thrill of competition and the thrall of desire.
I'm coming to the cottage.
It's the pop culture phenomenon that your friends in social media can't stop talking about.
What was that? Not everything is about you, Hollander.
HBO Max's hit Heated Rivalry, with its sizzling storylines and candid depictions of closeted male hockey players in lust and in love, has thrilled millions.
Я хочу только тебя. Не всегда только тебя.
Turning its leads Connor Story and Hudson Williams into overnight stars.
Do you think everyone in the audience has seen Heated Rivalry? That's a maybe. But their trainers have, and their moms have, and their daughters have.
Ilya, the Russian, Shane, the Canadian, fiercely competitive on the ice, but off the ice, they're just figuring it out.
We're good here.
They're not the only heated rivalry couple heating things up.
I mean, the best one's the blueberry one.
Kip is a smoothie barista, navigating his relationship with team captain Scott Hunter. Actor Robbie G.K. recognizing what the show's representation has come to mean for so many.
It's almost like a bit of a haven that it creates within the storyline for people to find comfort in. And I think if I had known the impact and the gravity of that storyline, I definitely would have overthought things.
Amid all that on-screen passion, Heated Rivalry also capturing the tension and anguish of love that's forced to remain in the shadows.
You know, I think that there's a lot of ways in which a story like this can be told. In some of those ways, it could be kind of cringy or miss the mark, and I truly think that the team behind it is what made it special.
I have heard from quite a few heterosexual men who also have been letting me know that it's improved their marriage.
Author of the books that the show is derived from, Rachel Reed, driven to create these stories.
I've just been a hockey fan my whole life, but I've had a lot of problems with hockey culture, and this was a way for me to get a lot of those feelings out on paper.
Since its release, fans flocking to social media, praising the show for including characters who feel just like them, as those characters grapple with trying to live authentic lives.
I hope that people know that there's at least an option and there's a world that if they want to seek that out, there's somebody out there with open arms.
Like real-life hockey player Jesse Cordham, who publicly came out online this week. He says he did it for the teenager who carried a weight that did not seem to fit into that world.
Heated Rivalry helped me realize that visibility matters. It finally allowed me to be that voice for so many that came before me to fight for hockey and inclusion in hockey.
Heated Rivalry good to go for a season 2 that'll be shot later this year. More good news for its fans. And get this, among those fans, National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman. I thought the storyline was very compelling and a lot of fun, the commish told reporters last night, adding that he'd binged all 6 episodes in a single night. While noting that the material might be a little spicy for younger viewers, Bettman said, "I think it's a wonderful story."
I'm with
Guys?
Bettman.
I was That was great.
So excited about season 2.
Visibility does matter, but
Yes.
I think these characters are so well written, and the fact that they're unknown actors, all of them, who just seem to, make it even more fun to watch.
Yeah.
I miss them. The show's over, and I miss them as people.
So we got at least 2 super fans.
Yes, true super fans.
Now with our play of the day in a celebration for the Queen of Country. Lara, you have the details for us.
I definitely do. So happy to talk about Dolly. And we have some seniors celebrating Dolly Parton ahead of her 80th birthday. This is the 3rd annual Waltonwood to Dollywood outing, where members of the Waltonwood senior living communities in Michigan, North Carolina, and Virginia, they get together to bond over their favorite Dolly songs. They enjoy some good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, and of course, they flash those rhinestones. And what Dolly party really is complete without a wig? And well, there's Macho, sporting a new blonde mane. It turns out there's a powerful message behind this yearly event, and that is from Dolly herself. Aging, she says, is not the end of joy, creativity, or impact, but an opportunity to embrace it fully. It's a sentiment, of course, that you can be sure Dolly supports. Waltonwood to Dollywood is being celebrated all week. Hey guys, we love ya.
That's fantastic.
Love this celebration. This is all leading up to the Queen of Country's official birthday, 80th birthday on Monday. Dolly herself is celebrating with a gift to us, by the way, a new remix of her song, Light of a Clear Blue Morning. And we'll have more on that coming up in pop news for you.
Yeah, also you got more big music news and pop
Yeah,
news.
it's a musical pop today.
Okay. Pop, pop, there it is.
Happy birthday, Dolly.
Yes. All right, so also we have an announcement from Harry Styles. I guess that's what you were alluding to. I'm supposed to talk. Harry Styles, Hilary Duff. Thank you. You dropped the hint and I picked it up. Hilary Duff, they all have new music. We're going to talk about it coming up on GMA. Stay with us.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Big freeze. The cold sweeps all the way down to the Sunshine State as the Northeast braces for a powerful new storm. On the heels of the snow already causing chaos on the roads.
We've got cars everywhere.
Massive pileups on the highways. In New York, an American Airlines plane veers off the runway. Ginger tracking it all. From the major winter windstorm striking the plains to where you could see a whiteout this weekend.
Sopranos star Jamie-Lynn Sigler's meaningful new role.
Over time, I just turned MS into a pivot, not an ending.
Nearly 25 years after being diagnosed with MS, now playing a surgeon with MS on Grey's Anatomy. What the role means to her and how she helped shape it.
And we have a Super Bowl surprise for the family of the late Vikings rookie Khyree Jackson. How they're keeping his legacy going in their message for others.
I can see the light of a clear blue morning.
And feeling like a clear blue morning, we're celebrating New Music Friday with announcements from Dolly Parton, Hilary Duff, and Harry Styles. They're playing us into the weekend as we say, Good Morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it sure does.
It really does. And good morning, America. New year, new trends. Lori B is here with a look at what's on our radar for 2026, what everyone will be talking about this year. from style to food.
We are looking forward to that, as well as all the new music. Also ahead, Dr. Narula is here with the migraine fix. And this morning, she's answering your questions on everything from triggers to treatment.
First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with a powerful snowstorm that's on the move right now. It's causing a lot of chaos on the roads, major pileups on highways. Ginger, of course, is tracking it. Good morning, Ginger.
With the sub-freezing temperatures, George, all the way down to the state line of Georgia and Florida, you know there's a lot of cold air. And when that went over the lakes, you ended up with snow. I-81 southbound was closed down for a while because of this accident. Lots of cars involved, injuries. Thankfully, everybody looks like they'll be okay. But Erie, Pennsylvania, also I-90 had accidents there, and there was a deadly accident on I-79 with 2 semi-trucks. Now, this morning, we're seeing a new system, and this one's twisting here north of the Great Lakes. It's going to bring with us snow for this morning in Chicago, but it's the winter weather advisories and the high wind warnings from eastern Montana right through Lubbock, Texas, that we're looking for some of the gusts to reach 60, even 80 miles per hour. So watch those winds today if you're anywhere in western Nebraska, those high plains. And then the snowy part of the system is going to travel to the northeast. By Saturday, you'll see some rain snow line right there down into the Delmarva Peninsula and over into parts of Delaware. Could add up as snow as we go through Saturday afternoon. Certainly as you go away from the coast, like Hartford into the Berkshires, that's where some of the higher totals will end up. And I wish I could tell you that the cold air gets better, but Michael, it comes back with a vengeance next week.
All right, Ginger, thank you for that. Make me feel better.
You got it.
All right, thanks. We're going to go now to President Trump unveiling a new health care plan that he has long promised, but he didn't provide many details. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, has more. Good morning again, Mary.
Good morning again, Michael. And yeah, President Trump has promised a health care plan for a decade now. He's been teasing this announcement for weeks, and now he's finally unveiled what he's calling his, quote, great health care plan, but the details are sparse. This is only just a few paragraphs on the White House website. Now, the president says his plan is to give money directly to Americans so they can buy their own insurance, but it's not clear exactly how this would work. How much money would Americans be getting, and would it be enough to cover their health care costs? The president also promises his plan will bring down prescription drug costs and increase transparency in pricing. Now, all of this comes as more than 20 million Americans are seeing their premiums soar right now after Republicans failed to extend those expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. The president's plan, though, does nothing to renew them. And meanwhile, Democrats are dismissing Trump's announcement. They say this is more, quote, empty promises from the president. Rebecca.
Impacts a lot of people, millions. Okay, Mary, thank you. We're going to turn now to Amazon, taking aim at the recent bankruptcy filing by Saks after the e-commerce giant invested hundreds of millions of dollars in the department store company. This is a battle between Amazon and Saks as the online retail giant takes on the iconic department store group that just filed for bankruptcy. Amazon invested $500 million in Saks. That was back in 2024 when Saks bought its rival Neiman Marcus for nearly $3 billion. As part of that deal, Saks started selling clothes and beauty products from some luxury brands like Dolce & Gabbana right on Amazon, and it agreed to back Amazon and pay them almost $1 billion over 8 years. Well, now Amazon is saying in a court filing that the investment in Saks is worthless because Saks has now declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So what does this all mean for shoppers? For now, what it means is Saks will remain open. Its storefront is still available on Amazon, and Saks Neiman Marcus and the discount brands like Saks Off Fifth and Last Call are also still open. That's because Chapter 11 bankruptcy means that Saks is going to try to get money so that it can stock its shelves and pay employees. They are not liquidating yet, so you're not seeing the liquidation sales yet. But we could soon see some stores close. Saks says it has $320 million in outstanding gift cards. Maybe you got one over the holidays. Now is the time to use that and do it in store if it's possible.
Okay. A lot of information. We're going to turn now to one of the college football playoffs final. Miami has the home field advantage against undefeated Indiana for Monday night's matchup. Victor Kendo's on the scene in Miami Gardens. Good morning, Victor.
Hey, George, good morning. Look at what just arrived here at Hard Rock Stadium, the national championship trophy. This thing looks polished and pristine. This is what the Miami Hurricanes and Indiana Hoosiers will be competing for come Monday night. You know what else looks great? Hard Rock Stadium. The grounds crew has been hard at work all morning long in this chilly Miami morning, getting this field all set for the big game on Monday. This game is absolutely the talk of the town right now. Festivities kicking off on Miami Beach this weekend. The convention center has been converted into playoff fan central, ready to welcome thousands of visitors. True to Miami, there are plenty of concerts and parties lined up this weekend. There is so much homegrown talent in this game. families, friends. They won't have to travel too far. For the Hurricanes, their breakout stars on offense this season, Malachi Toney, Mark Fletcher, both from South Florida. And the Canes are led by head coach Mario Cristobal, who not only went to the U, but high school in Miami at Christopher Columbus, the same high school as Hoosiers quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Both Cristobal and Mendoza, Cuban-American. They have huge fan bases down here. There is a lot of love for Mendoza. Guys, I'm not going to try to hide it. I went to the University of Miami. I am a Hurricane. That said, I watched Mendoza's games all season. I rooted for him. I was thrilled when he won the Heisman. That's as far as it goes. I will not be pulling for him come Monday night. You can watch the game 7:30 Monday night on ESPN. Guys.
All right, we know where you lean. I'm kind of like, may the best team win. Anything can happen. All right, thank you so much for that. And coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, our series, The Migraine Fix. And this morning, Dr. Tara Narula is here answering your questions and helping you find relief.
Also, we spoke to soprano star Jamie-Lynn Sigler about her meaningful new role in Grey's Anatomy, nearly 25 years after being diagnosed with MS.
She is such an inspiration. Plus, it's New Music Friday, from Harry Styles' new album announcement to Hilary Duff and Dolly Parton dropping singles overnight. That's coming up in Pop News. And Lara and Sam are with Lori B.
And we've got major Friday vibes.
Yep.
Get ready for it. And when you think of someone who is on trend,
I think of both of you, by the way.
Aw, you think of Lori B, really. She is always on it.
Yeah, and this morning we're going to get a look at what's on our radar, on her radar for 2026. Everything from fashion to food. It's all good stuff, and it's coming up right here on GMA.
We got you covered.
You're on trend.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome back to GMA. We're kicking off next week in Miami. Lara's going to be there live on Monday. Count us down.
So will Sam. Sam needs you to know.
I left out
Sam. Sam's
Robin will be there.
Sam's refusing to work, but he will be there.
So yeah, because you're going to work Tuesday morning. You're going to come back.
I'm working Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, I'll be live.
Sam's watching the game.
Sam is there playing. Yeah, but we'll see him. You'll get a sighting, I guarantee it.
And you have to work now, Pop News.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Let's get to it. And I'm sure you'll see a sighting of Sam again in this. And we are feeling pretty golden this morning. Why, you ask? Well, this is why. We love you, Harry Styles. And he has confirmed a new album is on the way. The Grammy winner has been teasing this for a while, dropping hints online. We talked about it earlier this week. He's been putting up billboards all over the world with these phrases, and overnight he announced his fourth album is on the way. It's called Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. Okay, Sam, did he steal that from you?
I think it's, yeah.
That's like your mantra.
I say it all the time.
It features 12 new tracks. This is Styles' first new music since his 2022 album, Harry's House, which is just so good, featuring that hit, as it was. Harry has not revealed when his first single will drop on the new album, but fans are speculating it might be called We Belong Together because of the billboards and the website Harry's team has put up called We Belong Together. We do know the album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, will be released on March 6th. Love the name. I'm sure we're going to love the music.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, also popping this morning, how about more new music news? Hilary Duff is giving us new music from her upcoming album, dropping her latest single. It's called Roommates. She dropped it overnight. Take a listen. She's actually really good.
She does look good.
She's really, really good. This is She is so talented, guys. The girl can sing, she can act. She wrote this song with her songwriter, producer, husband, Matthew Coma.
She looks amazing.
Yeah, she says the song is about that ache for a wilder, freer time. We get it.
Yeah.
Before the days were swallowed up, in her case, by carpools, budget talks, grocery runs. The song coming 2 months after she announced her return to music with her 6th studio album. And next week, she kicks off her sold-out Small Rooms, Big Nerves tour in London. The song Roommates is streaming everywhere right now. The album Luck or Something drops February 20th. I love the names of these albums. And guys, we teased it before. We've got more music news for you, and this one from the Queen. Dolly Parton just dropped a remix of her anthem, Light of a Clear Blue Morning. We told you about it earlier this week that she's teaming up on this remix with Queen Latifah, Lainey Wilson, Miley Cyrus, and Reba McEntire. Yeah, some big names there on this version, all to benefit charity. Here it is. studio is bopping. It is so good. And it is about, let me just tell you, this song was written 50 years ago, 1976. Dolly said she wrote it in a moment that she needed some hope. And for the new version, she enlisted friends who she called real shining lights to bring that hope to life again. And she certainly has done it right here in the studio.
Yeah.
Can you keep everybody's tapping.
Everyone's tapping.
Everyone's tapping their toes and dancing along. Thank you, Dolly, for that. And it coincides with her 80th birthday on Monday. Proceeds from the song and the video benefit pediatric cancer research at the Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. She has done it again. She's just so generous.
Yeah.
Light of a Clear Blue Morning, streaming everywhere now. Is it Clear Blue Morning or Clear Blue Day? I think I just said both, but look up both. You'll find the song. It's really good. It's one of those, and it's Friday.
It's time now for our series, The Migraine Fix, where all week long we've done a deep dive into what they are and how to treat them. This morning, we're turning to your questions about migraines, and our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is here with the answers, as always. And Doc, let's get straight to our viewer questions. And here is one that comes from Sarah. Let's take a look.
Question is, I had a family member tell me I was faking migraine. How do I explain to her that it's real and should be taken seriously?
Good question.
Yeah, that's really tough. It's hard when someone doesn't believe you, particularly when it's a migraine or you're told it's just a headache. And as we've been talking about so much this week, it's so much more debilitating than just a headache. So one of the things you can do is to explain to your family member that actually this is a neurologic condition or disorder. It's actually the third most common neurologic condition or disorder, affecting 1 billion people worldwide. And the WHO, the World Health Organization, says it's the 10th, it ranks in the top 10 in terms of medical disability disorders. So really important to kind of reframe someone's perspective about what this is. When you look at the brains and imaging studies of individuals with migraines, you see changes in brain activity. And while we're still learning about what causes migraines, it does affect the electrical system of the brain, the vessels of the brain, neurotransmitters, pain signals. And that's why you get this whole systemic reaction of the nausea, the vomiting, the sensitivity to light and sound, the headache, and so much more.
Yeah, because people I know have them debilitating.
Debilitating.
Yeah,
I can
really
attest
debilitating.
to that, yes.
And for our next question, we have Barbara. Let's take a look.
Because I'm now on hormone replacement therapy for the last year and a half, 2 years, does it affect the migraines that I've been getting? Because I've been getting them more, sometimes 5 times a week, 2 a day, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's a great question, too. So we know that migraines are definitely sensitive to hormones. You hear about a lot of women, Michael, who get migraines around their period, and certainly estrogen seems to be a trigger in some cases, particularly fluctuating levels, and particularly in later life. So for some women, stabilizing your hormone levels with hormone replacement therapy can actually help or improve migraines. On the other hand, for other women, it can make it worse, particularly around the time of dose changes. So you definitely would want to talk to your doctor if you're on HRT and you notice changes in the frequency of your migraines. And then they may adjust the dose, how you're getting it, and the amount as well. So
talk to your doctor. Okay.
Exactly.
And our last one's from Krista Ann. Let's check it out.
My question for the doctor is, what's being done from a research perspective in the industry to hopefully find the root cause of migraines? And I know everybody's is different, but to help us get a better understanding of what causes a migraine so that we can better prevent them.
This is a great question, too. And we are really finally starting to learn a little bit more about migraines, but it has been a little bit of a mystery in terms of what really causes it. It was initially thought that it was much more of a vascular condition. The vessels were affected, and then that triggered all of the headaches and everything else. And now what we're understanding is that it's much more a wave of electrical activity that kind of passes over the brain, and that affects the nerves and the neurotransmitters and the vessels. But really, we are doing a deeper dive with research into understanding the cause, also how the migraine sort of spreads through the brain and affects the rest of the body. Also, the genetics of this. About 60% of migraines are genetic, and so we're understanding who might be more vulnerable, and then really looking specifically at some of the proteins involved. We talked this week about CGRP medications. A lot of that came out of the research understanding how the CGRP proteins are involved in this pathway. But the point is, we are moving in the direction of really personalizing this and really preventing migraines. That's the future.
Well, Doc, your information helps, and I think it also helps people who don't have migraine understand those who do a lot more.
It's so important.
It's so important. Thank you. As always, Doc. Rebecca and Lara, what you got?
Yeah, I could not agree with you more, Michael. It's been such a great series this week with Dr. Narula. Well, Michael, now we have a look at what's on our radar for 2026, and GMA lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamato is here with a look at some of the hottest trends for this year. Lori B, you got us covered.
I do.
You're going to make us cool.
You guys are already cool. This is
but-
one that I have been embracing for many years.
Have you?
I love gummies. Oh, I mean,
You got excited when you saw the gummy,
That's
right?
my candy. That's my candy fix.
Yeah.
It's your
This
candy
takes
of
it to
choice.
a whole new level.
It does. So we have the gummy bears there for inspo, right? But you guys, this gummy aesthetic, we got this from Pinterest Predicts, their report for 2026. And what they're saying is they're seeing pins and searches up over 50% for this aesthetic.
Really?
So think like things that are bouncy. We got all these tech accessories here from Amazon. So phone cases. You're looking for that candy coated, like a jelly apple.
The jelly, it just feels good.
It does. It feels good.
And it's
These
cute.
pop sockets. I feel like,
Mhm.
Lara, I was a little bit ahead of the trend. This is my actual phone. But like these pop sockets, they come off. Go ahead and feel that.
It's fun.
It's tactile. It's
Yeah.
really fun to play with. Everything
Not
is
just
really
for kids
affordable.
anymore.
No, it's not. And then also for beauty, this is from NYX. We got this at Ulta. This is a great makeup artist loved brand. It's really affordable. These jelly lips are up by over 50% in pins.
What do you think it is about the lip gloss?
It just gives you, I actually am wearing it. Alyssa, my makeup artist, she put it on
It looks
today.
great.
And it gives you that glass-like sheen.
Yeah.
It's affordable, and it's a way to participate in the trend with just very low commitment. You can feel trendy, but it doesn't feel, it feels low stakes,
And
right?
super social media centric, too.
Exactly.
So this is a fun
This
one.
is really fun.
What are we calling this
We're
again?
calling this Poet Core. Although you guys,
Core.
if you want
Poet
to
Core.
stay tuned and see Sam Champion. Sam Champion's also in Poet Core today.
Yes, he is.
So what is this?
Or Gilligan's Island, Thurston Howell.
Yes, it's very professorial. So searches for Poet Core are up 175. Michael's looking over here. He's like, what is this
Our
trend?
very own poet laureate.
Yeah. So you'll see here on the mannequin next to Lara, everything we have here, this is like the Poet Core uniform. The turtleneck, the blazer, the relaxed trouser, the loafer, those are all from Quince. So really affordable. But if you want to just go the accessory route, these pointel scarves are from the Gap.
Yeah, they've gotten so
this is
big.
They're
nice.
huge
Scarf
right now.
that
It's
is
It's everywhere. And this is a way to feel warm and also has that texture. You just feel
And I
like you're
love
in
another
Cambridge
layer.
or something, right? Yes. And then these satchels are up 85% in searches. We got these at Nordstrom Rack. You guys, these are $35.
Very, very
so
high
a
end.
great buy and really participates in that trend.
Great.
Carpe diem.
Oh, this is is this the color of
This
the
is
year?
the color of the year, you guys. This is
yeah.
Pantone's color of the year. This is Cloud Dancer.
Cloud
so this
Dancer.
was like a
Otherwise known
really-
as white.
Otherwise known as white. But this stirred up a lot of conversation because people were like, oh, it's just white though, isn't it?
But it's not.
It's not.
It's got depth.
Are you
It
sure?
does.
Yes.
So they say that it's like a serene, airy, calm
Yes.
white. I'm wearing it today. What we love about
Oh.
it is that you can really do a lot of different things with it. We love it in home with caraway, these bakeware essentials. We feel like it really elevates from an
Yeah, I agree.
aluminum,
The
cookie sheet
dark
or
and
whatever.
kind of-
Exactly. So that looks really nice and modern. Olive and June over here.
Are you sort of wearing a little bit of
a little bit, and this white is great. And then Uniqlo jeans. Those are from that's a JW
And they're more of a
Anderson
cream.
collab.
Oh, look, it looks like I'm wearing them right now.
But you guys, I do want to get to the food
Yes,
because
yes.
who doesn't love food? This is
Thanks.
from Yelp. Searches for cultural heritage bakeries
This is
are
so
up.
fun.
So we've got some Mexican conchas here. We've got Cuban
Good.
pastelitos.
Those are
and
fantastic.
the Swedish princess cake, the princess torta, up 200%. So we're seeing more of a shift to those traditional cultural pieces that have been part of a culture for a long time, and not those like futuristic mashups.
And not
Remember, like
mass
over the top
marketed.
desserts.
Yeah.
These are local
People
businesses.
want
to
all of
support
that
their
from
local
Yelp. Delicious,
businesses.
trendy. Enjoy.
Thank
right,
you, Lori. And you
Thanks,
can
Lori.
shop lots of these items by scanning that QR code on your screen. Coming up here, we've got Jamie-Lynn Sigler talking about her return to television on Grey's Anatomy. It's a very meaningful conversation and role coming up.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
You know, last night we saw a special episode of Grey's Anatomy featuring the Soprano star Jamie-Lynn Sigler. Well, Kelly Carter sat down with Jamie-Lynn to talk about why this role was so meaningful for her. And, I know it was great to see. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Michael. Earlier this week, I sat down with Jamie-Lynn Sigler, who talked about working with writers and producers to create an authentic portrayal of this new character written just for her.
Catherine's thrilled you joined the team in Boston.
She's thrilled she poached me from Sloan Kettering.
This morning, Jamie-Lynn Sigler talking about her meaningful new role nearly 25 years after being diagnosed with MS, playing Dr. Kaplan, a surgeon with MS, on Grey's Anatomy.
Take me back 25 years, almost 25 years ago when you first got this diagnosis. Knowing all the things that you know now and knowing all the things that you're able to do in this body right now, what would you tell that younger version of yourself?
You're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay.
And it'll be better than you imagine.
What's making you cry right now?
Just thinking of her, and I think it's like just sometimes we don't allow and open up for the compassion and love that we deserve. And I'm just sending that to that version of me now.
This role, Dr. Kaplan, was created for you. What does that feel like, and what was your involvement in the development of her?
To think back 25 years ago when I was diagnosed and having to keep it a secret, thinking that if anybody knew that I had MS, that meant that I would never work again. And to now be in a position where my having MS inspired a role and a storyline on a show like Grey's Anatomy, I never would have believed you.
Sigler was starring on The Sopranos when, at just 20 years old, she received her diagnosis.
Believe it or not, the world doesn't revolve around you.
It would be 15 years before she revealed it publicly, fearing MS would prevent her from getting roles.
My very first take, where I do say the words that I have MS, was very emotional for me.
I have MS, so standing for long periods in the OR just isn't an option.
Because to be able to be on screen, which is the place I love to be the most, and say those words and own those words and be proud of those words and what that means, is just a time and a place that I never thought would exist and would be possible.
Sigler, who now talks openly about life with MS on the podcast Messy with Christina Applegate, was able to shape her Grey's Anatomy character.
The only note that I gave was, I just want to show someone in their power. I just want to show somebody that is living with this authentically, and that's really all I wanted to show with Dr. Kaplan, and they went above and beyond my wildest dreams.
Was it a difficult adjustment?
Adjusting to living with a chronic illness is never easy. But over time, I just turned MS into a pivot, not an ending.
We all have things in life that I think we carry with us that we have to push through, persevere through, or we feel shame or guilt around, and I hope that my story, through whoever's lens, they can interpret that and see more possibility and hope for themselves.
Sigler is hoping that this role gives more visibility to what living with MS can look like. And of course, you can watch Grey's Anatomy on Thursdays on ABC. And this episode of Grey's Anatomy is streaming now on Hulu and Disney+. Guys?
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly. And she is so brave and just such a nice human being.
Absolutely.
Great to see her on Grey's Anatomy.
A class of college students in Texas who may have cracked a murder case that had stumped police for more than 30 years. John Canona's here in the studio. He's got the story. Hey, John.
Hey, George. Thank you for having me here. Back in 1991, a young woman by the name of Cynthia Gonzalez was found brutally murdered in the woods off a road outside of Dallas. For years and years, police worked hard on the case, but they just couldn't find anyone to charge with the crime. It was a cold case. But now, more than 3 decades later, they believe they have a solid suspect, thanks to the keen eyes of some college students from the University of Texas at Arlington. Over at the University of Texas Arlington, the students in this lab all have dreams of solving crimes. But few of them thought that a new partnership between their school and the local police would result in them helping crack a 34-year-old cold case.
What kind of work do you do? How typical day, what happens?
We would come in and we would pull out the file out of our cabinets here, and we would each disseminate the reports and evidence and look at it.
These students tasked with digging into the cold case files. The 1991 murder of Cynthia Gonzalez. She left behind a 6-year-old daughter, Jessica Roberts, the killer seeming to vanish without a trace.
My mom was a person. She had a life.
In 2025, Jessica had no idea her mom's case had been assigned to the UTA students, who spent weeks immersed in the police reports and evidence.
And buried in those files, they found a name. Amidst the potential suspects, all of them men, there was a woman, Janie Perkins.
She had been part of the record. The police had already talked to her, right?
Yes, police had talked to her on several occasions.
It turned out there was a connection in the shape of what investigators called a love triangle. Janie's boyfriend left her for Cynthia. In November, 34 years after Cynthia's brutal killing, police arrested 63-year-old Janie Perkins on charges of capital murder and obtained a warrant for her DNA. Meanwhile, Jessica had no idea that any of this was happening.
I got a phone call from the detective. He said he needed to speak to me about my mother's case. And I asked him, what's going on? Can you tell me over the phone? And he said, no, I need you to come in person.
She was allowed to record the audio of that meeting, including that emotional moment.
We're here today to tell you I obtained an arrest warrant and she's been taken into custody and has been officially charged with the murder of your mom. So just wanted to give you that news in person.
May I ask who this person is?
Of course, I can give you all the information.
Oh my God.
There are a lot of questions and a lot of things we don't know. We, of course, will hear more, if not all of those answers, if this case goes to trial.
63-year-old Janie Perkins is now charged with capital murder and remains free on bond awaiting indictment. Back in November, her lawyers released a statement saying she's innocent of the allegations. Meanwhile, there's a whole new class of criminology students at UT Arlington this semester, and already they're digging into a new round, George, of cold cases.
Boy, they are doing a good job there. And you can get more in the story. You can watch Impact by Nightline, Never See You Again. That's now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. And John, 2020 tonight?
Yes, a riveting manhunt, international manhunt, a crime that happened in the Washington, D.C. area and takes us all the way to Guadalajara, Mexico. It's the hunt for Mr. Right, who turned out to be Mr. Wrong.
Yeah. That's tonight at 9 p.m. Thanks, John.
It seems like we're all focusing on nutrition and wellness goals in 2026, so we have some tips to help you on that journey. And this segment is sponsored by Vital Pursuit, and their spokesperson, registered dietitian Maya Feller, is here. Maya, welcome. I love having you here to talk about these things. So as we get ready for resetting the new year, what are some good ways to kind of support whole body wellness idea?
Yeah, so I want to start by talking about protein, right?
Okay.
Protein from foods, that's the building blocks. It's really important for muscle health, it's important for immune health, skin, and more.
Everyone's talking about it.
I mean, it's having a moment, but here's the thing. Few people realize the power of actually pairing protein and fiber together. Fiber is so important for gut health and whole body health in general. And together, protein and fiber help to keep you satisfied. Now, here's the other thing that we want to think about, that's nutrient density.
Okay.
That's the amount of nutrition in a food in comparison to its caloric content. That really supports your body on a cellular level. That's so important.
All right. So if I want to emphasize protein and fiber and get those nutrient-dense foods in that you just talked about, what should be on my grocery list? Like, how do I go to the store with it?
Yeah, okay, so here are some options that have protein, fiber, or both. I love beans. Beans are a source of plant-based protein and they have fiber. Now let's think about whole grains. There's going to be a little bit of protein in there, but also lots of fiber. Of course, we have our fruits and vegetables. You're going to get some fiber in there and phytonutrients. And then, of course, you've got your lean meats. That's going to be a fantastic source of protein.
We have been eating like this all week, and it's really good. So I know everybody's busy. Everybody says, hey, but I'm busy, I'm busy. Thought of making a nutritious meal seems like it takes a lot of time. But how can we make sure that the meals we make fast are balanced?
All right, so, you know, the frozen section, Sam, that can be a place that has a wonderful, you know, kind of nutrient-dense meals.
It's the way I live.
Listen,
it's the way I live.
I'm telling you, you've got to get in there. So like these Vital Pursuit meals, for example. So this is a frozen line, and it's developed by chefs and Vital Pursuit dietitians. And each of these has protein and fiber. What I love about the Vital Pursuit is that you're going to get at least 20 grams of protein and at least 3 grams of fiber per meal. Nutrient dense and really beautiful. So let me take you through these 3 options that we have right here.
Okay.
So first we've got the garlic herb grilled chicken bowl. I want to reveal to you the amount of protein and fiber in this. We're
Okay,
talking
hit
about
me.
22 grams of protein
That's good.
and 3 grams of fiber,
That's
which is
good.
amazing. What's fantastic is that this is gluten-free. Now we're going to move, I know, hey, raise your hand up, gluten-free all the way. Now we're going to move on to the chicken and spinach garlic Alfredo bowl. I want to reveal here the amount of protein and fiber in this. We are talking about 31 grams of protein and 12 grams of fiber.
I saw it on the box. I actually can't believe it. It's great.
So this is from their Max Pro line. And what's
Okay.
fantastic about the Max Pro line, it's got at least 30 plus grams of protein and at least 12 plus grams of fiber, along with other essential vitamins and nutrients. So we've got iron, we've got calcium, and vitamin A. Really fantastic.
Okay.
And now everybody loves pizza.
I've been looking at this the whole time.
This one is actually my favorite. I really love it. Oh my goodness, when I tried this, I was like, oh, let's go. So we're talking about chicken mozzarella pizza here.
Yeah.
And what's so amazing about this pizza, Sam, is that it has the most protein of any pizza in the frozen nutritional category line.
I'm just looking at that number.
Sam, 33 grams of protein. Incredible, 17 grams of fiber.
That's crazy good.
It is really high. I mean, it's amazing for people who are really thinking about increasing their protein and fiber content. This is wonderful. It's really nutrient dense, and also it's very convenient.
Yeah, and I noticed we were talking a little bit about being gluten-free, so anybody can kind of get in.
Yeah, this is great. Whether you're on a GLP-1 or you're trying to pay attention to your lean body mass, really convenience is where we are at, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Vital Pursuits, it's really wonderful. It's now, you can look at it in the future. It's so easy, and it's really simple.
Love having you here, Maya. All right, thank you to our sponsor, Vital Pursuits, as well for these tips. You can go to GMA social pages to learn more. Coming up, we're honoring the legacy of the late Minnesota Vikings rookie, Khyree Jackson. His family's here to tell us about the work that they're doing.
We are back now with the family of Khyree Jackson, the extraordinary young man and Minnesota Vikings rookie who was tragically killed in a car accident in the summer of 2024 when he was hit by a drunk driver. His parents, Ebony and Raymond, and his brother Colston are here to tell us about the way they are carrying on his legacy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm sorry it's under the conditions, and we are so sorry for your loss, but it's also something hopeful, a very hopeful message. I'm from Minnesota. I know how hard this hit Raymond, the community there. Tell us more about your son, Khyree, and his legacy.
Yeah, Khyree was a loving, energetic kid that loved to run free. He loved his family, loved being around family, friends. He loved to play sports, any sport of any sort. So, but of course, football was his love.
Yeah.
He was just a helpful kid. He was just always around. He just loved doing the things that he loved to do with his family.
And Colston, what was Khyree like as a big brother?
He was the best because we used to play the game together and we used to play basketball and he used to have the best food spots.
Absolutely. So, Ebony, tell us a little bit about the foundation you have now created in his honor to make the world a better place in his blessing.
I think we see the foundation as like love in action because Khyree had such a huge heart. He had like this quiet, giving heart. So the goal of the foundation is to continue who Khyree was and what he wanted to do in the community. When Khyree got drafted, the first thing he said was, I want to start a foundation, and what the name of it and what should the name of it be. So when we got the award from the Vikings, it was just like such a happy moment for us because now we have this grant and we're able to give away more scholarships, like start awareness about the driver safety campaign, help kids with school supplies and football equipment. So we're just doing what Khyree wanted to do.
Yeah, it's divine, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that the Vikings gave you that award. They gave you their Changemaker Award.
They did.
Ebony, that must have been quite a moment for you, emotional in so many levels.
It was surprising. They were on FaceTime with us. We thought they were calling us to show us a painting, and then they told us about the award. And for us we just established the award we just established the foundation less than a year ago, and to be recognized for it, it felt really good.
I bet. Well, we hope that we can give you a little more feel good.
Okay.
We want to surprise you. We're going to take it one step further from the Vikings. We're catching the pass, if you will. And this time it's on behalf of the NFL. They love what you're doing. They see you. and they really want to celebrate Khyree by having you guys at the Super Bowl. You guys are going to the Super Bowl this year in San Francisco. Here are your tickets. You don't need to carry those with you.
Yeah, right.
We have you covered. But we want you to know, they want you to know.
You were surprised.
The NFL, just wanted to hear, Dad, what your thoughts are about this.
Man, this is
latest
big. This is
moment.
huge. I mean, we love it. This is something that we always talked about. Khyree loved the game. We loved the game of football. That was our bond. Colston as well. This is crazy because before we were Minnesota fans, we were me and Colston are Patriots fans. So we're hoping that that would be great. That would be a good connection.
There's still a
there.
chance.
We're still Minnesota now, but of course, we're still going to root for the Patriots as well. But this is huge. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you so much.
Colston, what do you think about that? You gonna wear those cool sneaks? Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoy every moment of it. And thank you so much for continuing the great work on behalf of your son, Khyree.
Thank you so much.
And
This is
thank
great.
you. All right, we'll see you at the game.
What happens when America's favorite morning show rolls on into Texas? It will be big. Texas Big. Next week, GMA's taking you to the Texas you haven't seen.
This is going to be big. Texas Big.
And come along with me to Big Bend National Park along the Rio Grande. It's going to be spectacular.
You know what they say? Everything's bigger here. Buckle up. It's Texas Week on Good Morning America.
I'm looking forward to going to Texas next week, but I'm going to Texas today because it's my mom's 85th birthday.
Happy
birthday, Louise! Stay hands.
Have a great weekend, everyone.